Your body has a remarkable protein called Klotho that works like a protective shield against aging. This natural protein is found mainly in your kidneys and brain. As you get older, your Klotho levels start to drop. This decline begins as early as your 40s. Scientists now call Klotho the longevity protein because of its powerful effects on health and lifespan. Research shows that people with higher Klotho levels tend to live longer and stay healthier. In one groundbreaking research, mice with increased Klotho lived 20% longer than those without it. Another research found that Klotho gene therapy extended mouse lifespan by 15 to 20%. These numbers are significant, but the benefits go far beyond just adding years to your life. Let me tell you about how Klotho protects your brain. Your cognitive function, which includes memory and thinking ability, gets a major boost from this protein. Research involving over 2,000 older adults found something remarkable. People with the highest Klotho levels had much better scores on memory tests. In fact, those in the top group showed 29% lower risk of poor cognitive performance compared to those with the lowest levels. The protein works by strengthening connections between brain cells. It nearly doubles the levels of an important brain receptor called GluN2B in the areas of your brain responsible for memory. Studies show that people carrying a genetic variant that increases Klotho production perform better on tests of learning and memory. This happens across all age groups. About 20% of people carry this helpful genetic variant. But Klotho does something even more exciting for your brain. It protects against Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Research shows that Klotho significantly reduces the toxic effects of beta amyloid, the harmful protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. The protein prevents brain cell death and keeps the connections between neurons healthy. This protection happens even when beta amyloid is present in the brain. Your kidneys love Klotho too. This makes sense because your kidneys are the main organs that produce this protein. Research involving thousands of people with chronic kidney disease reveals important patterns. Those who maintained Klotho levels above 280 nanograms per liter had better cardiovascular protection over 2 years. Studies show that each unit increase in Klotho is associated with lower risk of kidney disease progression. The protein works by fighting inflammation and reducing scar tissue in your kidneys. It also helps regulate calcium and phosphate balance, which is crucial for kidney health. Lower Klotho levels in kidney disease patients predict worse outcomes. A research review found that people with lower Klotho had 1.65 times higher risk of kidney problems compared to those with normal levels. Now let me talk about your heart and blood vessels. Klotho provides powerful protection against cardiovascular disease. The protein fights 3 major enemies of your heart, which include inflammation, oxidative stress, and calcium buildup in your arteries. Research shows that people with kidney disease who have higher Klotho levels experience fewer heart attacks and strokes. The protein reduces the thickening of your heart muscle, a condition called left ventricular hypertrophy. It also protects against atherosclerosis, where fatty deposits clog your arteries. Studies in mice show that Klotho treatment reduces heart damage by blocking harmful chemical pathways. The protein helps your blood vessels stay flexible and healthy by reducing inflammation markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. Your bones need Klotho too. This protein plays a key role in maintaining strong bones as you age. Research shows that women over 50 with higher Klotho levels have significantly lower risk of osteoporosis. One research found that when Klotho levels reached 824 nanograms per milliliter, the risk of osteoporosis decreased dramatically. The protein works with another important molecule called FGF23 to regulate calcium and phosphate in your bones. It promotes bone building while reducing bone breakdown. Research shows that Klotho deficiency leads to abnormal bone formation and increased fracture risk. But increasing Klotho levels helps restore healthy bone metabolism. This is especially important for postmenopausal women who face higher osteoporosis risk. Klotho fights two silent killers in your body, which are oxidative stress and inflammation. Think of oxidative stress as rust forming inside your cells. It damages DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. Inflammation, when it becomes chronic, contributes to almost every age-related disease. Klotho tackles both of these problems head-on. The protein increases your natural antioxidant defenses. It boosts an enzyme called manganese superoxide dismutase, which neutralizes harmful free radicals. Research shows that Klotho reduces markers of oxidative damage by up to 40% in some tissues. The protein also lowers levels of inflammatory molecules like IL-1 beta, IL-6, and TNF-alpha. By blocking inflammatory pathways, Klotho protects your organs from chronic damage. Your muscles benefit from Klotho in remarkable ways. As you age, you naturally lose muscle mass and strength, a condition called sarcopenia. Research shows a strong connection between Klotho levels and muscle health. One research involving thousands of middle-aged adults found that higher Klotho levels were associated with significantly lower risk of low muscle mass. This relationship was especially strong in women. The protein helps your muscles in several ways. It promotes the growth and repair of muscle fibers after injury. It improves the energy-producing parts of your muscle cells, called mitochondria. Research in older adults shows that those with higher Klotho levels maintained better muscle strength over 4 years. The protein also protects against muscle wasting by reducing inflammation and oxidative damage in muscle tissue. Let me tell you about Klotho and glucose regulation. The relationship between Klotho and insulin is complex but important. Research shows that Klotho helps regulate blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. In people with diabetes, Klotho levels are often lower than normal. Studies show that increasing Klotho can improve how your body handles glucose. The protein works by affecting insulin signaling pathways in your cells. It can enhance insulin secretion from your pancreas when needed. Research in diabetic mice shows that Klotho treatment improves blood sugar control. But there is a twist. The protein appears to work differently depending on your current health status. In healthy people, slightly reduced insulin sensitivity from Klotho might actually slow aging by protecting cells from excessive glucose uptake. Now here is something that might surprise you. Klotho appears to suppress cancer growth. Research shows that Klotho levels are significantly lower in many types of cancer tissue compared to healthy tissue. This includes breast, colon, pancreatic, ovarian, and kidney cancers. Scientists now consider Klotho a tumor suppressor protein. The protein fights cancer in several ways. It blocks growth signals that cancer cells need to multiply. It promotes programmed cell death in cancer cells, a process called apoptosis. Research shows that adding Klotho to cancer cells in the laboratory slows their growth by 30 to 50%. In mice with cancer, Klotho treatment reduced tumor size and improved survival rates. The protein also makes cancer cells more sensitive to chemotherapy drugs. The future of Klotho research looks incredibly promising. Scientists are now testing Klotho-based therapies for multiple diseases. Several approaches are under development. One method uses gene therapy to increase Klotho production in your own cells. Research shows this single treatment can provide benefits for months or even years. Another approach involves giving Klotho protein directly through injections. Studies in animals show this works quickly to improve organ function. Clinical trials are already underway testing Klotho gene therapy for Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative conditions. One company is developing treatments targeting Klotho for aging-related diseases of the brain, heart, kidneys, and muscles. Researchers are also exploring drugs that increase your natural Klotho production. Some medications already in use, including certain blood pressure drugs and cholesterol medications, have been shown to raise Klotho levels. Future treatments might combine Klotho therapy with other interventions for maximum benefit. But you do not have to wait for future therapies to boost your Klotho levels. Research shows that exercise is one of the most effective ways to increase Klotho naturally. A comprehensive analysis of multiple studies found that regular exercise